Marin Kitagawa is a cheerful gyaru and an avid cosplayer who drags our shy hero, Wakana Gojo, into her world of dress-up adventures. If you thought that sewing Hina dolls and playing dress-up wouldn't be a wild ride, think again. My Dress-Up Darling Season 1 takes us on a hilarious, heartwarming journey of an oddball duo, a doll-making introvert and a flamboyant cosplay queen, who form the most unlikely friendship ever. With Season 2 around the corner, now might be a good time to recap this roller coaster. This recap will cover all 12 episodes of Season 1. Strap in for awkward teen blushes, over-the-top cosplay escapades, etc. Many wholesome feels, with a side of ecchi embarrassment. Ready?
Gojo-kun? どうしたの? 大丈夫? どういうこと? ごめんね。
Episode 1. Our story kicks off with Wakana Gojo, a timid high school boy who is obsessed with crafting traditional Hina dolls, a hobby that he keeps secret for fear of being laughed at. Enter Marin Kitagawa, a popular girl, fashionista, full-time bundle of chaotic energy. Marin literally crashes into Gojo's life and discovers his sewing skills after school. Expecting ridicule, Gojo is stunned when Marin geeks out over his expertly made doll costumes instead. Marin then shows off a cosplay outfit fail that she's been working on. It's for her favorite video game character, a sexy goth girl named Shizuku. Gojo accidentally blurts out some harsh truth about her shoddy costume craftsmanship, social skills equals 0, but Marin isn't mad. In fact, she's delighted. She dramatically slides right up to him and basically says, "Please be my cosplay savior." She adores Shizuku Kuroe and desperately wants to cosplay her properly. Our doll boy Gojo, who's never made human-sized clothes before, gets puppy dog eyes from Marin and just cannot refuse. He agrees to sew her costume, promising to do his best. And thus, the cosplay partnership and Gojo's long journey of blushing 24/7 begins. Episode 2. Marin is dead serious about this cosplay, so she wastes no time. She explains to Gojo exactly who Shizuku is. Just a heroine from an erotic video game called Slippery Girls 2. Yeah, you heard that right, an ero game. Our pure boy Gojo is perplexed and a bit scandalized that Marin, a girl, is into a spicy game like that. Marin just laughs it off and gives him a pep talk about not judging hobbies by gender. Who cares if it's a girl's game or a boy's game? If you love it, she says confidently. Gojo, impressed by her passion, agrees. He's learning it's okay to be honest about what you like, just as Marin told them earlier. Now, to make the perfect Shizuku costume, Gojo has to take Marin's measurements. And here comes one of the most iconic scenes of the season. Marin shows up at Gojo's house with a swimsuit under her clothes, ready to strip down so he can measure every inch. Gojo just about dies on the spot. He's a blushing, stammering mess as Marin casually stands there in a bikini, striking poses like it's no big deal. Our boy internally screams panic, but somehow pushes his impure thoughts aside and goes into professional tailor mode. Now, remember, all of this is very new to him, let alone a girl standing in a bikini waiting to take measurements. What follows is the funniest measuring montage ever. I'll let you watch a bit of it.
わかんないけど早くってば。っていうか、腕きついんだけど。
すみません。すぐ測りますか。近い。なんでこの距離。これもうなんか北川さんを。
And with that, measurements complete. Marin rewards him with the actual game discs for research and bounces off happily. That night, Gojo, booting up an Aero game for homework, gives his poor grandpa the shock of his life. And thus ends episode 2, with Gojo possibly more terrified of Marin's request than of any horror movie. Episode 3. After that, steamy measuring session, Gojo is so flustered that he literally has a wild dream about Marin that night. Embarrassed, he tries to avoid Marin at school, like she's a dangerous glitch in the Matrix. But there is no escaping Kitagawa. She finds him at the school entrance and is like, "Hey, why are you running away? Let's go and buy cosplay fabric, duh." Gojo, still mortified from his dream, panics and declines her invitation on the spot. Of course, Marin is not letting him off that easy. She tracks him down again and basically corners him him with those puppy eyes. Gojo finally confesses that he bailed because he's not used to hanging out. Truth, he's shy and he thought he overstepped. Hearing this, Marin puffs her cheeks and declares that they're friends now, so he better get used to it. Gojo.exe has stopped working. Did she just say we're friends? Off to go on a shopping date. A trip. Marin drags Gojo around the fabric stores like an excited kid in a candy shop. They even hit a ramen joint afterwards, where Marin loudly chats about the slippery girls' games plot twists, completely oblivious to the other patrons choking on their noodles in shock. Later, while walking home under the sunset, Gojo shyly admits that because of his doll hobby, he only calls something beautiful if he truly means it. This will be important later, foreshadowing. Marin, smiling, reminds him about the upcoming cosplay event that's only 2 weeks away. 2 weeks? Gojo's face equals utter horror. Our boy realizes that he has just a fortnight to sew an entire complex outfit. Cue dramatic cliffhanger music. Episode 4 cranked the chaos up further. With the event looming, Gojo is working himself to the bone. On top of sewing, he's juggling school and running his family's doll shop because Grandpa is out of commission. Why? Well, Grandpa saw something he shouldn't have. He accidentally knocked over Gojo's shopping bag and out-tumbled a pair of lacy woman's stockings. They were for Marin's costume, and Grandpa didn't know that. The poor old man nearly had a heart attack. Like, are these your girlfriends? Before literally falling over in shock. Grandpa confirmed as MVP wingman, he assumed that Gojo snagged a girlfriend. Not far off, to be honest. So now, Grandpa's recovering in the hospital for a bit, leaving Gojo swamped with shop duties and exams on top of the cosplay. No wonder our guy is dead tired. Marin hears about Grandpa's injury and genuinely worries, even offering to help out at Gojo's place. Aw. Gojo politely refuses, as he wouldn't subject the princess to his boring chores, but they do exchange phone numbers so that Marin can keep tabs on him. She is super considerate here, and our boy is touched. Despite exhaustion and self-doubt creeping in, like, can I really finish this? Can I really become a doll artisan? Gojo remembers his grandpa's words. If you love doing something, it is always worth it. Rejuvenated by love of crafting and maybe of a certain cosplayer, Gojo pulls an all-nighter and miraculously completes Marin Shizuku's outfit on time. He texts Marin the next morning, costume done, ready to collapse. Marin rushes over, sees the gorgeous cosplay dress, and her face falls. Turns out she never actually planned to attend the event that day. It was optional, and Gojo totally misunderstood her urgency, meaning he overworked himself for nothing. Marin feels horrible. She goes full anime apology mode with tears in her eyes, bowing repeatedly, shouting, "I am so sorry, Gojo." And Gojo, well, the sweet cinnamon roll that he is, simply smiles in relief. He was secretly glad for more time. He gently wipes her tears, saying that it's okay, as long as she's happy with the costume. To cheer her up, he insists that she try out the outfit on right now for a test run. Marin, sniffily but excitedly, agrees. We get a heartwarming makeover scene, and finally, Marin puts on the dress. She steps out, twirling like a princess, and beams at her reflection. She is Shizuku. Marin squeals out with happiness, literally shining with confidence. Gojo watches, exhausted but proud, and is absolutely memorized by how beautiful she looks. You know that special word he doesn't use lightly? Here it comes. As Marin gushes over the costume, Gojo, half asleep on his feet, murmurs, "You look beautiful." Marin freezes, and she remembers that he said he only calls something beautiful if he really means it. Instant blush explosion. Our Gyaru queen is shook. She turns beet red, her heart going doki doki, while Gojo passes out standing, oblivious to the fact that he basically just confessed. This adorable moment caps off the first arc. Mission accomplished, costume complete, and two dorks growing closer without even realizing it. Episode 5. Now that Marin has her dream costume, it's time to slay the cosplay event. Episode 5 opens with Marin so excited that she drags Gojo out the very next day for a photo shoot in her brand new Shizuku-tan outfit. She's basically like a kid on Christmas, posing dramatically while Gojo snaps pics. Photographer Gojo is serious business. He even coaches her to stay in character, making her channel Shizuku's cool, dark persona. The photos turn out amazing, and Marin's social media is about to explode. Hi, on Cosplay Joy, Marin decides, let's hit up a cosplay convention tomorrow. Gojo tags along because how could he say no to her? At the event, Marin is living her best life, fangirling over others' costumes, striking poses for photographers, while Gojo hovers like a nervous parent with a water bottle. It's all fun and games until the heat, literal temperature, not just Marin's hotness, gets to her. Under the midday sun, poor Marin starts to sweat buckets in her black leather costume. She slips away to chug water and cool down, bending over and uh-oh, she reveals a bit more skin than intended. Turns out that she improvised last night by wearing 2 push-up bras for extra busty accuracy, because Shizuku has a, quote, more than ample bosom, and Marin will not be out-boobed. But stuffing herself beyond Gojo's measuring sizing has consequences. My chest is literally about to burst. Marin groans in pain, and Gojo looks at the strain on her costume and deadpans, of course it is! After a quick adjustment, and probably ditching one of those new bras, Marin feels better. But while resting indoors, Gojo's mind spirals. He thinks now that he fulfilled his promise to make her cosplay, Marin might ditch him and move on. Gojo, you cinnamon roll. Out in the plaza, Marin is actually searching for Gojo, worried when he wandered off. When she finds him, she literally lights up, giving him a smile so radiant that it could outshine the sun. Gojo is blown away, and in that shining moment, all of his fears vanish. He realizes that Marin truly enjoys being with him, costume or not. As they head home, Marin chatters about future cosplay plans. Gojo's like, wait, do you want to do this again? With me? And she's basically already planning outfit number 2. Much to his immense relief, this friendship isn't ending at all. Exhausted and happy, Gojo gets a little bold. Half asleep on the train, he looks at Marin in her cosplay and softly says, "You're beautiful, Kitagawa." Second time he's used the B word. Marin's brain short circuits. She is a blushing, wide-eyed mess as she recalls the significance of that word. Inside she is squealing, he really meant it. Outside she is frozen like a statue. By the time she recovers, sleepy Gojo has stumbled off the train, and Marin is left clutching her face, heart pounding. Oh boy, something is happening in her Kokoro. Could it be that she's catching feelings? Yes, girl. The answer is yes. Episode 6. Post-event, things only get crazier. Gojo's grandpa returns home and catches Marin hanging out in Gojo's room one day, a sight that nearly gives the poor man a second heart attack. They hastily clarify that Marin is just a friend helping with cosplay, but grandpa's like, sure, and winks out. Meanwhile, Marin, after that beautiful comment, has been in a daze. She's starting to realize that her racing heart around Gojo might be something more. Over dinner with Gojo and Gramps, Marin chats about her odd family situation and her awful instant ramen diet. Gojo is horrified, immediately thinking, must feed this girl real food. It's wholesome AF. The next day, amid a pouring rainstorm, a new character arrives, Sajuna Inui, a petite, sharp-tongued cosplayer who's actually famous online under the alias Juju. She shows up at Gojo's doll shop, drenched like a lost kitten. Grandpa, being the kind soul he is, invites her in to dry off while Gojo is out. When Gojo comes back home, he is shocked to find a random girl in his house wearing his clothes, and Grandpa conveniently pieces out, leaving them alone. A series of awkward misunderstandings ensue, and finally the girl drops the bomb. She's here because she saw Marin's cosplay pics online. She tracked down the creator. Sajuna, aka Juju, reveals that she wants to commission Gojo to make her next cosplay outfit. Plot twist, this sassy small cosplayer is actually the same Juju that Marin fangirls over. Speak of the devil, Marin shows up at Gojo's place after work and walks in to find tiny Juju wearing Gojo's shirt. Any normal rom-com heroine might be jealous, but not Marin. She's too busy fangirling over meeting the Juju in person. Marin's eyes turn to sparkles as she gushes about Juju's flawless skin and epic cosplay. Juju, who expected rivalry, is pleasantly surprised by Marin's genuine admiration. The three talk cosplay, and Juju says that she wants to cosplay Shion Nikaido, a magical girl character from Flower Princess Blaze, a show that Marin also loves. Marin, being taller and curvier, admits that she would not cosplay Shion because her physiques would not match. She respects accuracy. This actually impresses Juju, who realizes that Marin is a true cosplayer at heart, and not just a casual dresser. A mutual respect is born. Before leaving, Juju asks for Gojo's contact and clarifies one more thing. Wait, you two aren't dating? Both Marin and Gojo freak out. No, we're just friends. As Juju steps out into the rain, Marin closes the door and then promptly collapses to her knees, face red, heart pounding out of her chest. She finally puts two and two together. She is in love with Gojo. Inner Marin dramatically screams, "Oh shit, I'm totally head over heels for Gojo!" It hits her like a tidal wave, complete with shoujo bubbles and everything. After a good 3 minutes of flustered chaos at least, our girl has fallen hard, and the dynamic between her and clueless Gojo is about to get even juicier and more hilarious. Episode 7. With Juju's request on the table, the trio plans a group cosplay of Shion and an accompanying character. Juju initially balks at the idea of cosplaying together. She's a lone wolf, but Marin's enthusiasm and an offer to split the studio rental fees convinces her that Gojo now has 2 cosplays to make. One for Juju, one for Marin. Double the work, double the fun. He binge watches Flower Princess Blaze for research, which is basically just a sparkly magical girl anime. Grandpa, noting Gojo's improved sewing, suggests that he also practiced doing makeup on a real model. And who better than Marin? And so Gojo finds himself visiting Marin's apartment for the first time. He's an anxious bean. Marin, on the other side of the door, is losing her mind. She invited her crush over and totally forgot to clean up. The door opens to reveal Marin in a messy bun, no makeup, and a room strewn with clothes and junk food. She is mortified, but Gojo thinks that she looks just as pretty as always. Aw, he politely pretends not to notice the controlled chaos. They settle in to watch Flower Princess Blaze together to make sure that Gojo gets all the costume details right, of course. Marin hits play, and then it dawns on her. This is an at-home date. She tries to keep her cool while they sit this close on her bed watching the laptop, when her stomach suddenly growls loudly. So much for cool. Marin decides to impress Gojo by cooking lunch. She's not exactly a master chef, but she whips up some omu rice with a ketchup heart on top, classic shoujo style. It looks like a crime scene, but bless Gojo, he loves it. He scarfs it down and genuinely praises her cooking, making Marin sparkle with joy. He is either truly not picky or just so smitten that he would eat anything that she made, even charcoal. Later, at a cafe meeting with Juju, Marin, and Gojo now meets Shinju Inui, Juju's little sister, who's actually bigger than all of them. Shinju is a shy, enormous sweetheart. It turns out that Shinju is Juju's photographer. With all players assembled, they plan a cosplay photo shoot at an abandoned hospital set. The group cosplay project is officially on. Episode 8. It's time for the big group photo shoot. The crew rents an abandoned hospital, spooky vibes, that perfectly matches a scene from Flower Princess Blaze. Shinju, the photographer, excitedly shows Marin different camera filters and cool tricks, like using backlighting for dramatic shots. Marin, taking notes, cosplay is serious business, okay? Meanwhile, Gojo explores the creepy hospital to find Juju. Surprise, despite her confident persona, Juju is terrified of the dark, haunted-like setting. Gojo finds her huddled in a corner, trembling. Looks like our cool cosplay senpai has weaknesses too. They have a rare heart-to-heart as they wait for the others. Juju asks Gojo why he agreed to help her, and he humbly says he admires people who pursue what they love. Juju, seeing his earnestness, reveals that she chose him as her costume maker after seeing the love that he poured into Marin's outfit. This validation nearly makes Gojo tear up. He recalls his grandpa's words about doing what you love. Overcome with gratitude, Gojo joyously grabs Juju's hands, proclaiming how excited he is to work together, which promptly causes tiny Juju to faint from embarrassment. Fast forward, after school finals end, Marin, spur of the moment, invites Gojo to the beach as a reward. They head to the ocean, where Marin rocks a hot pink bikini, and Gojo is internally screaming again, but trying to play it cool. They grab giant burgers, only for a sneaky seagull to swoop in and steal Marin's burger right out of her hands. Truly a tragedy. Laughing it off, they share the remaining burger, Lady and the Tramp style. Well, almost. Gojo is too pure for indirect kisses. Both spend some time in the water, and Marin learns something heartbreaking. Gojo confesses he never really had friends or went out as a kid. He always was cooped up working on dolls. Marin's heart squeezes. She had no idea how lonely his world was. With determination, Marin grabs his hand, looks him in the eyes, and vows, "I'll take you to tons of cool places this summer, Wakana." The weight of her words hits them both. It sounded almost like a date promise. Marin realizes she's basically implied that they'll spend the summer break together, and immediately short circuits, face red, excusing herself to hide her relation. She literally runs off behind a rock to squeal, "What did I just say?" to herself, utterly love-struck. After regaining composure, Marin sneaks a candid photo of Gojo gazing at the ocean, smiling softly. A memory that she'll treasure, and definitely not just her new phone wallpaper. Nope, not that. This photo gave us pure, wholesome fun, and also Marin unconsciously acting like Gojo's future girlfriend. These two are basically dating without the label at this point, and it is adorbs. Episode 9. Time to finish those new cosplays. Gojo goes into overdrive, sewing 2 complex outfits. Marin, ever dedicated, even helps wherever she can. At one point, she excitedly shows Gojo a swimsuit that she bought to wear under Lobelia's costume, asking if it's accurate. Gojo nearly has a nosebleed at Marin casually flashing her skimpy bikini like, "Is this okay? Focus, soldier!" He stammers that it's fine, managing not to faint. He's actually really happy to see that Marin is contributing ideas. She's feeling like a real team member now. Eventually, Gojo unveils the completed Blaze costume to Marin and Juju, and they are flawless. The craftsmanship, the detail, chef's kiss. Juju can't believe this is the same guy who made only one outfit before. She is so impressed, and she wonders if Gojo is secretly an industry pro. And when he tells her that Marin's Shizuku was literally his first cosplay project, Juju's jaw drops. What? The day the photo shoot arrives, Marin and Juju transform into their characters with Gojo's help. They head into the abandoned hospital set, all excited, and find that Shinju, the photographer Emoto, is missing. Suddenly, a handsome mystery man in a night uniform appears, startling Marin and Juju. Who is this tall, dark, and dashing cosplayer? Plot twist, it's Shinju. The shy little sister secretly made her own cosplay to join them. Shinju admired her big sister's hobby so much that she wanted to try it, but she was too self-conscious, until Gojo encouraged her. In a flashback, we see after their first meeting that Shinju privately confessed to Gojo that she had dreams of cosplaying a male character, and Gojo, being the supportive being, immediately agreed to help. They even found a special chest-binding bra, charmingly called a bee holder, so Shinju could flatten her ample chest to suit the male costume. With Gojo helping to style a wig and makeup, Shinju is now unrecognizable as a handsome prince, and Juju and Marin are shooketh at the reveal. It's a touching sister moment. Juju gets teary-eyed at Shinju's dedication, and the photoshoot commences with all 3 cosplayers, and it is a smashing success. They pose dramatically, reenact scenes, and finally the group takes an epic team photo together, grinning ear to ear. Afterwards, as they wrap up, Juju quietly thanks Gojo for helping Shinju realize her cosplay dream. It's a sweet moment of character growth all around. Our cosplay family is thriving, but of course we cannot end an episode without a bit of Gojo-Marin romantic tension. Later, Gojo mentions on the phone that Shinju has been over at his house for costume fittings. Marin immediately gets jelly. Her tone goes from sunshine to slightly stormy. Oh, is that jealousy we detect, Marin-chan? She quickly shakes it off, but not before internally pouting. To change the subject, Marin excitedly shares her next cosplay idea, a character named Veronica, who has dark skin. Gojo suggests that they could use a digital effect to darken her skin in the photos, but the next day, Marin shows up at his house having done a full-body tan with foundation makeup. She looks like she fell in a vat of chocolate, and she is so proud of that DIY tan. Not wanting to waste any time, she marches in to show him the costume concept, and then realizes the foundation is staining everything. She eventually scrubs off all the fake tan in a bath, but then casually calls Gojo into the bathroom to demonstrate how to tie her corset, or something like that. The next thing you know, Marin is literally standing there naked under a towel, asking Gojo to help measure some tricky places. Gojo walks in, sees 90% bare Marin, and nearly ascends to heaven on the spot. He flees with a high-pitched, "I can't," while Marin laughs her head off. Later, Marin decides that Gojo needs a little wardrobe upgrade, so she drags him on a shopping trip. They shop a little, and Marin's heart thumps like 50 million times here. Finally, as they stroll home with shopping bags, Marin asks about the sexy Veronica cosplay. Gojo, red-faced, confesses that he can't make that outfit for her. Marin is shocked. Did she do something wrong? Did he finally hit a creative wall? Gathering his courage, Gojo blurts, "It's just too revealing. I can't handle it." Marin blinks and then bursts out laughing. She is actually relieved that that's all it was. She half feared that he was quitting cosplay making altogether. She can't help but tease him, and Gojo nearly chokes, denying it in protest. Marin giggles and pats his shoulder. Okay, I'll pick a less spicy character next time, promise. She secretly enjoys how protective and flustered he is about her. With that, the Veronica plan is shelved, and our duo's bond grows even stronger. Episode 11. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more suggestive, Episode 11 says, "Hold my sewing kit." Marin discovers a new manga that she loves, a cute, wholesome slice of life about a succubus who just wants her target to sleep. It's literally called Sucky IDK. She drags Gojo to a cozy manga cafe for a read-along date. They squeeze into a tiny booth together. The manga is actually super chill, and Gojo enjoys it. One thing confuses him though. So, what exactly is a succubus? He asks innocently. Bad idea. Marin's eyes light up with mischief. She leans in with a grin and gladly explains, basically they're girl demons, she says sweetly. They make men have pervy dreams and then they suck up all their semen and kill them. She delivers this line with such glee that Gojo spits out his drink. The fact that Marin can say words like that with a smile floors him. He turns 50 shades of red and sputters. What part of that is tranquil everyday life? Marin just cackles. Despite the graphic explanation, Gojo still thinks the succubus manga is cute, and Marin decides that she wants to cosplay the succubus character, Liz-kun. Liz is a literal pink-haired demon girl in lingerie, so this is probably Marin's most risque cosplay idea yet. Gojo, ever the trooper, decides to design the outfit but struggles because, well, the manga's art is quite simple. Marin ends up finding a studio for the photo shoot that matches the manga's setting, or so she thinks. On the day of the shoot, she arrives at the address, only to realize that Marin accidentally booked a love hotel room as their studio. Yeah, those hourly rate hotels for, adult activities. The room does look exactly like the manga's scenes, bed and all, but poor Gojo walks in and immediately panics. This is a love hotel? Marin, face red, waves her hand. It was an honest mistake. They decide to make the best of it since they're already there. Marin changes into her succubus cosplay, a skimpy black bikini, garter belts, demon horns, the whole spicy ensemble. Gojo is basically on life support, trying to remain professional. They start taking photos, and Marin is killing it as Liz-kun, doing playful, seductive poses. But one shot from the manga cover has a tricky angle. Liz-kun on top of the male lead, singing a lullaby. Ever dedicated, Gojo suggests, maybe I should lie down and you, straddle me? For accuracy, he is in mission mode now, focused on getting the shot right. Marin, whose heart definitely skipped a beat at the word straddle, gulps but agrees. All for the cosplay, right? So Gojo lies on the bed, camera in hand, and Marin climbs on top, knees on either side of him. They both try very hard to pretend this is normal. She looks down into his eyes and starts singing softly to mimic the scene while he snaps the photo. The shot turns out great, but then, reality catches up. They realize, oh my gosh, I am on top of him in a bed. At that exact moment, because comedic timing is king, they hear moans and bed creaks from the room next door. Remember, it's a love hotel. People are getting busy adjacent to them. Gojo's eyes go wide as dinner plates. The boy is on sensory overload. Soft girl on him, suggestive noises around him. His body reacts in a totally involuntary but totally teenage boy way. He freaks out internally. He sits up in a panic, grabs Marin by the waist to lift her off. In her surprise, she slips and accidentally hits the light switch, plunging the room into darkness. They freeze, now only a few inches apart, in the dim light of a single phone screen. It's a tender, dangerously intimate moment. They're staring into each other's eyes, hearts pounding like crazy. Marin's lips quiver. Gojo swallows hard. It looks like they might actually kiss? The tension is through the roof. And then, zzz, the room phone rings loudly, shattering the moment. Reception reminds them that their time is up. Worst timing ever. Both of them practically jump out of their skin and scramble apart. Yes, we're leaving now. Gojo yelps, and they exit that love hotel faster than the flash. Both a flustered mess. Back home that night, Gojo lies in bed thinking of Marin, and how she looked at him, how it felt to have her so close. He hides his face, unable to sleep. Poor boy is deep in the feels. Marin, meanwhile, is kicking her feet on her bed, alternating between I cannot believe that almost happened, and why didn't it, in her head. The love hotel escapade leveled up their awareness of each other big time. Episode 12, season finale time! After all the cosplay craziness, we wind down with some classic summer fun, and feelings coming to a boil. Marin plans a summer festival date with Gojo. Those yukata and fireworks, you know the drill. But first, she has to finish her summer homework. While Gojo is helping her study at her place, he notices Marin's phone buzzing with work emails. Surprise! Marin's been modeling for a magazine to earn money for an expensive pro camera that she wants. That girl's been hustling on the side. Gojo is impressed, seeing yet another cool side of her. They take a break, and Marin suggests watching a horror movie that's trending. Now, you would think that Marin, lover of all things spicy and wild, would handle a horror movie like a champ, right? And Gojo, the gentle soul, would be the scaredy cat. But, nope. In a hilarious twist, Marin is scared out of her wits by the movie, while Gojo watches intently, unfazed, analytically commenting on the monster's costume design. By the end, Marin is clinging onto Gojo's arm like a scared kitten, and Gojo's like, that wasn't so bad. The creature's outfit was actually well made. Marin is still trembling and pouts, no fair, I'm gonna have nightmares now. To take her mind off of it, they head to school at night to grab a math workbook that Marin forgot, because why not visit a dark school after a horror flick. Naturally, spooky stuff happens. Marin trips near the pool and, in a scene straight out of a horror movie, falls in with a splash. She can't swim and starts to panic underwater. Gojo dives in without hesitation and rescues her, pulling her up in a very dramatic shoujo moment. Marin coughs and clings to him, shaken and embarrassed. Of course, she'd be the one to nearly drown in a kiddie pool. Gojo scolds her lightly for being careless, and then freaks out because now he's soaking wet too. They laugh it off, but the near miss really hit Gojo that he could have lost her. His concerned face gives Marin warm fuzzies. With homework finally done, thanks to Gojo literally tutoring her all night, Marin is free to go to the summer festival. She invites Gojo properly, and he says yes, as if he would ever say no to her. On festival day, Gojo waits at the shrine, wearing a simple yukata. Marin shows up, and Gojo's jaw drops. Marin in a yukata is an absolute angel. She's in a pink floral yukata, hair pinned up, looking uncharacteristically demure and gorgeous. Gojo is stunned speechless, which of course makes Marin blush ear to ear. She put serious effort into looking traditional for him, and boy did it pay off. They wander the festival stalls, playing goldfish scoop and eating candied apples. It's a pure, fluffy teen romance energy, as fireworks light up the sky. Marin and Gojo find a quiet spot, and Marin cannot stop sneaking glances at Gojo's serene face under the fireworks glow. Her heart is so full that she might burst. Gojo notices her sandal straps have rubbed her feet raw. Without a word, he kneels down piggyback style and offers to carry her home. Marin's like, huh? But eventually hops on his back, wrapping her arms around him. As he carries her through the summer night, she is practically melting with happiness and trying not to let him feel how fast her heart is beating against his back. It's a scene straight out of a romance movie. Later that night, back at their own homes, neither can sleep, but for different reasons. Marin, still giddy, decides to call Gojo on the phone. She claims it's because she watched another horror movie and got scared again. Sure, Marin. Truth is, she just misses him and wants to hear his voice. Gojo, lying in bed, answers, and they chat softly about random things, both too shy to address the elephant in the room. Marin's voice is gentle and sweet over the phone, and Gojo's eyes start drooping. He's finally relaxing after an eventful day. Marin notices him getting quieter and asks if he's falling asleep. Just a bit, he mumbles. With a soft chuckle, she tells him good night. There's a pause, and then Marin musters all her courage, and in a barely audible whisper, she confesses, "I love you, Gojo." Her face is burning, but she finally said it. On the other end, she hears only light breathing. Gojo has already fallen completely asleep and missed the entire conversation. Classic. Marin giggles to herself, half relieved, half exasperated, and she promises herself one day she'll tell him again when he's awake. The season ends on this adorable note. Marin sprawled out on her bed, kicking her feet in joy because she finally let it out, even if he didn't hear, and Gojo snoozing soundly, dreaming of Hina dolls and a certain bubbly blonde. And that is My Dress Up Darling Season 1, in all of its humorous, heartwarming glory. Will Gojo ever realize Marin's feelings or his own? Or will Marin cosplay an even skimpier character and finally finish off poor Gojo's sanity? We'll have to wait for Season 2 to find out, but one thing is for sure, this cosplay rom-com has stolen our hearts like a crafty succubus. Minus the fatal soul-sucking. Thanks for joining this wild recap ride. If you like this video, remember to give it a like and also subscribe to the channel so that I can keep on making such content for you. Stay tuned and remember, if you're gonna do something, might as well do what you love. See you in the next one!